All right, we have another movie about a camp, summer, killing. Does it do anything different? Let's find out. Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon reviewing Hell of a Summer. So what's this about? Pretty simple premise. I kind of told you in the very beginning, we have camp counselors going to a camp, right? And people start getting murdered left and right. And how are they going to get murdered? Why are they getting murdered? And what is the overall premise of this film? So did I like this film? I thought it was a cheeky, fun, good time. Okay, it was fun. Like, it was simplistic. The dialogue for me was witty and goofy enough for me to enjoy it, even though I could tell a lot of people in the audience did not like this Bobby character at all and what he was trying to do. I don't know, his bantering I kind of enjoyed, of like just being like an annoying dude, but it worked for me. So yes, simple premise, right? And also it's directed and written by, if I'm going to say this correctly, I want to say it correctly, is Bill Bryk and Finn Wolfhard. So they also writ this movie as well. And from the looks of it, it was supposed to come out in 2023 or when it was created, and it's 2025 now. And apparently this is, quote-unquote, Finn Wolfhard saying this is kind of his leave of childhood of making this R-rated movie because he was in Stranger Things, Ghostbusters. I mean, that doesn't mean he's going to do PG-13 and PG movies, but I just think this is like his crumpets, what am I trying to say? Anyway, his transition in Hollywood from doing kid stuff and more going to adult, more themed things. I don't know. Maybe I'm bullshitting because was he also in Goldfinch as well? But yeah, all right. Continuing on with this movie, it's very simplistic. Have you seen it a million times before? Absolutely. The Cabin in the Woods, the Jasons, and things like that. And I want to say it pays homage, but there is some homage elements to it where you're like, yep, I see what you're doing there with talking about older movies and things like that. And like I said, the bantering. Some people are going to like it, and some people aren't going to like it. Like, I do think there was funny dialogues about vegans, about gender studies, about what people look at in relationships and things like that, of like, you know, having your best friend go to a girl and, you know, you being all alone. And there is kind of a funny subplot about the best friends and the mom marrying one of the person's dads. It could have been a little bit expanded on, in my opinion, because that would have been pretty funny to keep bringing up over and over and over again. And there were enough characters in this movie to actually have a little bit of a rapport with, especially with like the fragile screenwriter, the gay theater kid, you know, the guy that's punching cops and thinking he's cool about it. And like little things like that where you're just like, yeah, the little subtlety of each character, you get to know and get to understand each of them. So when you figure out who the killers are, I think it's a okay premise. Some people might be like, oh, it's stupid. But I do think there's this, you know, element of fame or element of wanting to be noticed that you're willing to do anything. And I think that actually works pretty well with this script. It is a short movie. I think it's an hour and 22 minutes without credits. So it is a breezy time. However, you could tell the budget was very low. They probably saw, you know, who wrote it, who's going to direct it. And they're like, hey, here's $2-3 million. If that, I'm taking a guess. I'm trying to have a fun little project because when thinking about the gore, a lot of it is off camera. A lot of the blood splatters is basically, you know, someone's getting killed, blood splatter, or you see the after effects. There's really only one kill that you see an axe to a head. You kind of see in the trailer, but not in the overall aftermath, where you're like, okay, that's kind of a fun gore scene. But all other gore scenes, like I said, you see the severed head, you see the severed bodies, you see something occurring, but you just don't actually see the kills. Okay, I lied. There is one in the beginning as well that is a pretty interesting and fun killing moment. But overall, I think Hell of a Summer, it has a simple premise. Cabin in the woods, kids, shenanigans, ensues. It could have been more gratuitous of like sex and drugs, but it wasn't. So I did kind of enjoy that, where it wasn't like, you know, titties everywhere and things like that. And that's fine. I think that's a good thing to do in this movie. Focus on the more comedic elements, focus more on whodunit elements and the bantering between friends and whoever's in this circle. But like I said, there were some people in the audience that I could tell probably didn't like this movie just because of the Bobby character and some of the things. But you can't get mad at the Bobby character when there's also other characters in other movies you don't get mad at for doing tenfold stupider shit. So Hell of a Summer will receive a 3.5 out of 5 Futons, which equals that 70%. We'll see the critics and user scores gave this one. I'm actually shocked, right? 49 with the critics with 39 of them. Audience score of 53% with over 50. Is there a critic consensus? There is no critic consensus. Sorry that my cough is coming back. That is no freaking bueno. All right, so we have 49, 53, 70. Chase out here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One of the things, Booftopia. You Boof Tony. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. I can watch this tape tomorrow, week from now, month, or a year from now. I love every single freaking one of you. And are you going to have a hell of a summer? Let me know down below.